I'm Jason Richardson, and this is my Ernie Ball Music Man Cutlass Artist Series guitar. One of the things that people will notice right away when they pick this thing up at Guitar Center and just plug it into anything, it's gonna sound like very, very thick and beefy. What we have going on with the guitar, we have a Buckeye burl top, but a lot of people think it's paint. They're like, oh dude, that finish is so cool. I'm like, no, it's just wood. I was like, that's just what it actually looks like. But I remember the first time I saw Buckeye burl, it was when I was in high school. I just found some random guitar with it on there and was literally losing my mind. I thought it was like the sickest looking thing ever. I've been obsessed with this wood like for literally over a decade now. That's the top. Is a Music Man bridge. These are Music Man pickups as well, which are brand new for this model. But they're pretty much catered to exactly what I wanted. It's an alder body, flame maple neck. That's part of the cool thing about the Buckeye burl and with the natural woods. Like each one is going to be like subtly different. I've got one that's like a little bit more bird's eye and one that's like has a way more prominent flame in there. So that'll be cool. Every person will have like their own unique one. The Artist Series plate right there. It's got an ebony board and stainless steel frets. For whatever reason, ebony for me has always just felt faster. We decided to leave the big dot inlays so that way they're really obvious, like when stage lights and stuff are going on. It's got a satin finish, which is, I feel like for when you're playing live for sweating, like stuff when like if you're in a really hot show, it's a little less sticky than say a gloss top or something like that. Like your arm is less likely to get like glued to it. It's like this has the least amount of like friction, in my opinion, for that kind of scenario. It's got locking tuners, which are insanely useful. Anytime I go to put new strings on a guitar that doesn't have these, I have to like think really hard about how to wind the string again because because all the Music Mans have the locking tuners on there. What essentially got me interested in the Cutlass is I have a 6-string one, and I started playing on that a lot. I started listening to more dudes like Mateus Asato and John Mayer and that kind of style. I started learning more of that type of stuff on that Cutlass that I got, and it made me really, really stoked on that. And then I was like, how could we hybrid this like the 7-string guitars that I've been playing and that bright shimmery like clean sound of the Cutlass guitar? And what we were able to do is with the pickup configuration, so it goes right to split right here, but then when the tone knob is up, now it's just the bottom coil, and then when it's up, it's just the top coil when the tone knob is up down here, and then back to split again. I've never personally been a very big fan of the clean sound with all of the coils, like with both humbuckers activated. The only reason I would use that live is just because it was an easier configuration to get to on the other models that I've been playing. Because you would have to, in order to get to the split on the other models, you'd have to put the switch in the middle and then put the tone knob up, and then that activates the coil split. With this guitar, it just goes right to that sound because that's the one that I prefer for all the cleans. And then on the volume knob here, we have a preamp boost. You can change that on the back of the guitar. It makes the output like a lot hotter. Like say you're at like an open mic or some gig or something like that and you're not playing through your rig that you're used to. This can help a lot with like soloing and stuff like that. You just turn that on and all of a sudden it just like the amp feels better. That's what I've noticed. I use it for like if I'm playing with All That Remains, like the trash can endings, like doing like the 80s like dive bomb stuff where it's just harmonics. Like if I pump the preamp on for that, it's a lot easier to do all of those. So right now I have the tone knob up, which activates full single coil mode, and the switch is currently in the middle. So that means that both of the outer 2 coils are going to be tapped, and that's more of the like super strat, like really bright, shimmery kind of clean sound. And then if I go to the neck, now it's just going to be only this top coil right here. And then I go down to the bridge, and then now that's only the bottom coil, which is way more of like a twangy kind of country almost sound. With these pickups, being able to switch back and forth between humbucking and single coil, and I need to be able to play all of my old stuff that's very metal and very heavy and, you know, super. And I wanted to combine the Cutlass as well so it could have that really bright, shimmery and like crystal clear, clean sound as well. So honestly, there wasn't, I just told them that, and then they put these pickups in the guitar, and that was pretty much it. It was like home run, first try. So that's always awesome when things like that happen. Now we have tone knob down. So that means full humbucking mode is now in there. With the switch in the bottom, that's going to be the bottom humbucker. And that's what this sounds like. For when it's in humbucking mode with the tone knob down, the neck pickup I primarily would only really use for just really the more shreddy type lead stuff when you're going really fast. Obviously that's all subjective, like that would be your preference. I use the bridge as well for leads, but that's going to be more. I'm going to go over to something faster. That's when I would go to the neck pickup, because it makes it kind of like smooths and rounds everything out and makes it a lot like or like creamy, I guess would be a good adjective. With the placement of the switch right here, with it being just right here, I typically try to have my my hand kind of tucked up, so it's never an issue for me getting in the way right here. But you don't even have to pick your hand up to get to the switch. It's just right there, so you're able to flick it back and forth constantly all the time, depending on what you want to be playing, as opposed to some other models that might have the switch like down here or up here or here. Like you never know. It's like it doesn't make any sense to me to have a switch anywhere else besides literally right here, so that way it's so easy to get to for anything that you could possibly need. So now I'm on the tone knob is down, and I'm on the neck pickup, and it's both coils, so the full humbucker, and it's got a much more smooth, kind of rounded out, very like liquidy kind of sound for the lead tones, and this is what that sounds like. So the idea that I have a signature guitar now, an artist series guitar with my signature right there, you never really think you're gonna get to that point, you know what I mean? You're just kind of out there doing your thing, playing music, and then all of a sudden like people start noticing, traction takes off, and then hopefully you get to the point where like this is happening, and it's just an obscure concept to kind of think about that have this actually happening, because I have it right here now. It's kind of weird. It's cool. It's awesome. It's mind-blowing.